So, Enter Heaven. Hoffentlich kriegen wir Elysian Harper Backstory. Episch genug haben sie es ja schon gemacht. Records Repository, auf geht's. Und hier zwei Kapitel, die Elysian Harper heißen. Das hoffen wir mal, dass da was dabei rumkommt. Also in der Story hat man auch noch nicht mehr mitgekriegt, außer einmal kurz ist sie aufgetaucht als Squad-Leader für Heavenly Ascension heißt das Squad nicht, oder? Nee, ich glaube nicht. Das ist Outer Rim Squad auf jeden Fall. Ist sie da als Squad-Leader aufgetaucht, aber es ist nicht viel. Das storytechnisch von ihr hat man davon nichts mitbekommen. Außer dass sie ein bisschen, was sie immer wütend war. Ich muss kurz die Tür zumachen. Sie war wie immer schlecht gelaunt. Aber sonst, also von Backstory von ihr oder generell Story von ihr und Hintergründe haben wir bisher alles gesehen in der Story schon, was es gab. Da dieser eine Zwischenfall, wo sie dann gesagt hat, sie will zum Nikke werden, war alles. Aber kurioserweise in dem Part, wo man in der Story noch gesehen hat demnächst, das kommt dann bald, da sah sie noch aus wie vorher, sah sie nicht aus wie jetzt da. Ich weiß nicht, ob sie da dann doch noch kein Nikke... eigentlich hätten sie gleich zum Nikke umbauen müssen. Ingrid hat ja gemeint, sie hat vielleicht noch ein paar Tage zu leben, höchstens. Deswegen haben sie gleich umgebaut. Aber scheinbar hat sie dann irgendwann ihr Outfit geändert. Zu dem da. Egal, fangen wir an. Light is our right. Heck. Pah. Viper, my throat hurts. Seriously, doesn't anyone ever clean around here? Why is there so much dust? Should I eat it all? Would it make my throat stop hurting? Don't. It'll only make it worse. Oh, okay. Thanks, boss. Now then. The tip we got said there have been sightings of dangerous people coming and going around here. Viper looks around the area. I see a whole bunch of dust, but no signs of anyone's actually been living here. Yeah. There aren't any light fixtures. Spotting something shady in the dark, huh? I wonder what it was. Viper, boss. Over here. There's stuff written all over the wall. There's literal writing on the wall. Viper turns on her phone flashlight and shines it on the wall Jekyll is pointing at. Huh? What is this? The wall is covered in words written in red. Traitors. Hypocrites. You abandoned us. And what's that in the center? Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. Hier scheint es auch wesentlich besser zu gehen. Sie hat nicht mehr so fette Augenringe. Die Augenringe davor waren crazy. Do you think Heavenly Ascension is behind this? Hard to say. I thought you'd already taken care of all that. I did. But now it looks like a little investigation is warranted. I'll handle it. By yourself? Yeah. EH stares at a wall filled top to bottom with writing. I'm pretty sure this is a message meant for me. Exotic Squad heißen die, glaube ich. Exotic. Come in. Thanks for making time. I know how busy you are. Oh, wie sind wir? You said it was urgent. What's going on? It's about a terrorist group from the Outer Rim. Heavenly Ascension. Do you remember them? Of course, they were behind a lot of terrorist attacks in the Ark. Crow used them to blow a hole in the Dome of Eternity. Then do you know who founded Heavenly Ascension? Oh shit. Es war wahrscheinlich Elysian Harper. Aber am besten ich sage, I don't. Ich meine, die wird's mir sowieso erklären. I figured you might not. It would be good for you to know, though. It was EH who founded Heavenly Ascension. Huh? I see. Why are you telling me this now? After the attack on the Ark, EH expressed a desire to atone for her sins. She asked to become a Nikke so she could take responsibility for what she'd done. As part of the deal, she was forbidden from leaving the Outer Rim. What? No way! Sie bleibt für immer im Outer Rim? Holy crap, dude. A bomb was placed around her neck and she became the leader of Exotic, agreeing to dismantle Heavenly Ascension herself. Those who left the group under EH's order were spared their lives, while those who didn't were punished for the terrorist attack. And Heavenly Ascension was thereby declared disbanded. Huh? I had no idea that all happened. However, there's an issue. Since then, the remnants of Heavenly Ascension were quiet, or at the least we haven't seen any signs of activity from them. Recently though, we received intel that they've started moving again. Didn't you just say the group was dismantled? It was, but then reports started coming in. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. That's their most famous slogan, and it's being written all over the Outer Rim. Couldn't it just be some copycat though? Of course, that's entirely possible. But we also can't rule out the possibility that there are remnants of the group still around. If so, EH's report of dismantling Heavenly Ascension may have been false. A ruse meant to protect what remains of their group. At least that's one theory. The suspicion got pointed at her. It's not unreasonable for the central government to come to that conclusion. After all they see when they look at EH is a former head of terrorist organization. That's why they're asking me to look into what's really going on with her. Aber sie kann doch unmöglich wollen, dass sowas passiert, man. Gerade Ingrid nicht. Do you think she lied? I don't know. I can't say. I don't want to give my opinion first and influence your judgment. Besides, let's just say I'm not fit to judge. Oh. What do you mean by that? For now, I want you to see EH in person and determine whether she's involved in this or not. You were one of the victims of the attack, but you also have a long history of treating Nikkes without prejudice. If there's anyone who can remain impartial here, it's you. Alright, I'll meet with her. Ja, wir kriegen auf jeden Fall noch Backstory mit, glaube ich. Zumindest ein bisschen, ein Fetz noch. Really going through with it? Yeah, I was asked to. Are you able to get in touch with her? No. She's not answering any messages or calls. That's not good. Whatever's really going on, this whole situation is suspicious. I advise keeping your guard up, Commander. Regardless of whatever EH intends, something is really in motion. You can't do as you've always done and blindly trust someone because they're Nikke. Don't worry. How can I not? Let me come with you. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Take me. If we move as a group, we'll draw too much attention. We're fairly well known now. Even so, it's better than being defenseless. I just don't want to provoke them. Regardless of who's doing this, their recent actions have been bold. True, but I don't want to escalate this and drag innocent people into it. Still, I don't think going at it alone is strategically a good idea. That's why I've already contacted someone else. Someone else? Oh je, jetzt wird sie auch noch eifersüchtig. Wait, you don't mean? That's exactly who I mean. Wen tun wir Minen? Wen tun wir Minen? Viper. Wait, wieso können wir Viper kontaktieren, aber nicht Elysion Harper? Honey? Viper. It's been a while. Mir fällt gerade auf, sie hat die exakt gleichen Hörner wie Zero Two von Darling in the Franxx. Die Farbe ist ein bisschen, Farbe ist rosa anstatt rot, aber letztendlich sehen die ziemlich identisch aus. It's unlike you to be the one to call first. I just haven't been able to reach EH. Oh, I don't mind the reason. I'm just happy you reached out first. Hehe, Commander. I'm so happy to see you. Yeah. Thanks for coming out. Don't mention it. So you're looking for our boss too, huh? Yeah, I heard Heavenly Ascension's on the move again and I wanted to ask her about it. Yeah. We've been tracking them ever since we found signs of their activity. You've been tracking them too? Who do you think first found the wall with that slogan written on it? It was us. But a few days ago, after we found a certain wall, she said she'd look into it on her own. We haven't been able to reach her since. She's not responding to you either? Have you tried going out and looking for her? You bet. I ran around everywhere trying to catch a scent. But I couldn't smell her anywhere, so we didn't find her. I see. Can you show me the wall you found before she disappeared? Of course. It's deep inside the outer rim, though. Are you sure you're up for it? It hasn't been upkept for a long time. To the point that there aren't even any lights. It's dark and dangerous. It shouldn't be a problem with you two around, right? Oh my. Here you were so guarded earlier, honey. And yet now you're putting your trust in me? I don't see any reason for you to betray me. I suppose that's true. Are you going to double-cross me again? Of course not. I won't do anything like that again. Not now or ever. I'm not going to betray you, honey. I swear. Alright, I'll trust you. Thank you. Viper said, thank you? Hehe, then I'll say it too. Thank you, Commander. Hehe. Now, as a sign of our trust and commitment, how about a handshake? A handshake. A handshake. Viper extends her hand. Was, irgendwas hat sie doch vor. You said you trust me, and yet you're already hesitating? I would never do anything to hurt you, honey. I swore, remember? Alright. I take Viper's hand. Hehe, your hands are so warm. Viper let go of my hand. Good, I'm all charged up now. Oh, follow me. Oh man, sie hat Commander Charge gebraucht. Following Viper and Jackal's lead, I head deeper into the outer rim. There really aren't any streetlights around. It's dark, huh? Heavenly Ascension never developed this area. That's why there aren't any lights. Heavenly Ascension developed areas? The entire outer rim used to be like this. It was already dark enough without the Dome of Eternity. But with the partition blocking the way, barely any light from the Ark could get in. EH changed that. She said people shouldn't live in a place this dark. And so she dug through piles of scrap to find light bulbs. Ran electrical lines through the buildings that were still standing and installed street lights all over the place. After that, people started following her, even though she was an outsider. An outsider, EH? You didn't know? What do you think EH stands for? Do you know? Not her real name? Scheinbar kennt jeder den rechten Namen. Also im Outer Rim kennt man wahrscheinlich den Namen, aber nicht in der Ark. Das wäre, glaube ich, nicht so günstig. Everyone's hero? How do you... Egal, wir machen eins. Everyone's hero? Huh? So you don't even know that? Since it's Elysion that sent you, I figured they would have told you everything. Sounds like that's not the case. Is there more I should know? It's probably better if you hear everything from EH directly. It's all really personal stuff, so don't think it'd be right for me to talk about it. She's our boss, you think, you know? And I wanna respect that. But now just know that EH was originally an outsider who came into the Outer Rim on her own. Alright. You two seem to be on pretty good terms with her. Who? With EH? I mean, it's not like we were strangers before. We already knew she treated her people well, even back when she led Heavenly Ascension. Once she actually became our boss, though, that's when we really understood why people liked her. Yeah, boss treats me well. She does say I can't buy whatever I want though. There's a lot of things she tells me not to do. I don't like that. I wanna jump stuff, but she says no. That's because you keep eating weird things and getting stomach aches. Oh really? Then I like Boss. She's nice to me. Du Jackal ist so ein Dummkopf. Ohne Scheiß. I didn't really expect that. After what happened with the attack on the Ark, I figured things would be more strained between you. Huh? Would think so, right? I did too. So when EH first became our boss, I just flat out asked her. And then... What a surprise! You're the EH and now you're here to lead Exotic? Did you volunteer for it? Yeah. Really? But we stabbed you in the back. Are you really okay working with us? Yeah. Wow, very impressive. Oh, unless you're here to try and reform us. Former criminals. Is that it? Of course not. My hands aren't clean either. Still, you're different from us. We had clear convictions. Ideals and intentions don't make a mistake any less wrong. I have no intention of lecturing you two, as though I'm somehow innocent. I joined Exotic because this squad is the only one operating in the Outer Rim. And I figured I can protect this place. Und es ist ein Platz frei geworden, nachdem Crow wohl nicht mehr ist. I have no reason towards you, no resentment towards you, and no desire for revenge. We can't change what happened, and now we're all paying our own price. That's all there is to it. Haha, I had no idea you're the type who makes life harder than it needs to be. Not that I mind, eh? Honey's a straight arrow too, you remind me of him in that way. Okay then. I look forward to working with you, boss. Hehe, me too, boss. Likewise. Das heißt auch, Elysian Harper ist der jüngste Nikke, oder die jüngste Nikke überhaupt im Spiel, die wir bisher kennen, weil sie ist die einzige, die während dem Spiel in der Gegenwart umgebaut wurde. Alle anderen gab es schon, oder zumindest wurde nicht gesagt, dass sie erst kürzlich gemacht wurden. Neon könnte eventuell ganz frisch gewesen sein. Weiß man nicht, wo die herkommt. Die anderen haben alle schon ihre Squads gehabt, die waren also alle schon aktiv, als das Spiel begonnen hat. And that was that. Do you get it now? Haha, she's got a good heart. Despite everything we did to her. That's why I don't think she's trying to rebuild Heavenly Ascension. I realize you might not believe all that because it's coming from me, but I do hope you'll hear her out at least once. Don't worry. That's why I'm here. That's the kind honey I know. Let's get going here. We're almost there. I follow Viper and Jackal into a rundown house. As we enter, our footsteps stir up a cloud of dust. Cough. I'll never get used to this dust. I hate this place. It makes my nose and throat hurt. Then do you want to wait near the entrance? It shouldn't be as bad there. Okay. This is the last place you saw EH? Yeah, that's right. See that wall? Viper shines her phone light on it onto one of the walls. Huh? Words like traitor and hypocrite are scrawled all over the red. How could you abandon us? Words of resentment. Die, central government lapdog. As well as some curses. There it is. And a familiar refrain. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. Heavenly Ascension's slogan. So this is what she saw. Yeah. She said it was a message meant for her. Probably from someone who resents her for breaking up Heavenly Ascension. If that's the case, it means she is a target. And if she's been unreachable ever since, she might be in danger. Yeah. Given that she was strong enough to hunt down Nikke even when she was human, I have a hard time imagining something happening to her. But when people harbor a grudge, you never know what'll happen. True. It's possible she came back here at some point. Und vor allem Menschen im Outer Rim haben, die Menschen in der Ark haben einen Chip implantiert, mehr oder weniger so einen Zugangschip zu der Ark und sowas. Haben die Leute außerhalb nicht. Und das ist wahrscheinlich auch das, was die Nikke davon abhält, die Menschen abzuschießen. Könnte natürlich auch sein, dass die Menschen an sich nicht abschießen dürfen, aber ich glaube, selbst mit dem Inhibitor an, können sie Outer Rim Leute erschießen. Weil die laut Central Government nicht als Menschen zählen. Das heißt, sie müsste sich eigentlich gut verteidigen können. Let's check the house one more time for any clues. Alright. Jekyll, it's time to stop playing out there. We need to see if we can find any signs that the boss was here. Oh man, inside there, my nose is clogged from all the dust and my throat hurts. Then just use your eyes. Oh, right. Okay, I have a fine pause. However, no matter how much we search the house, there's no trace of EH. There's nothing here. Maybe she didn't come back? Ah, Viper, my nose really hurts. I can't take it anymore. Yeah, we can stop. This isn't good. We can't just go searching through the entire Outer Rim. For now, let's step outside, honey. Staying in here can't be good for you. Yeah, let's go. Hurry, hurry! Let's go, Viper! Commander, hurry! Okay, we're coming. Before following Jekyll and Viper out through the entrance... Huh? I glance at the writing on the wall one last time. What's wrong? Something catch your attention? No, just taking one last look. Looking closely at the phrase, light is our right, heavenly ascension. I noticed a small groove etched into the word light. What's this? I press my hand against it. Beep. Huh? Clunk. The ground gives way beneath me. What the? Honey? And I drop down. Oh shit. Crash. After a fall that lasts longer than expected, I slam into the floor below. I look around. The room is pitch black. Where am I? Huh? You're not Viper or Jekyll? Who's there? Whack. Something heavy slams into my hand. Thud. And I lose consciousness. Und Viper und Jekyll kommen nicht direkt näher gesprungen? So much blood. I hear someone's voice. Come on, wake up. Oh, Elysia. Huh? EH? Do you recognize me? Yeah, I catch my throbbing head and sit up. Try not to move. Looks like you hurt your head. Right, before I passed out, I got hit on the head with something. You did? By who? I think I saw the silhouette of a man, but I couldn't make out anything. I see. Don't worry, I'm not that badly hurt. You shouldn't push yourself. You lost a lot of blood. The wound looks pretty bad. If really... Achoo! A strange chill runs through me. Aside from the cold, I really think I'm okay. Huh. Mind if I take a look at the wound? You're wearing gloves, right? Yeah. Okay then, go ahead. Just be careful not to touch the blood. Alright. He comes closer and carefully examines my head. It's completely healed. Judging from all the blood, I'm sure it was a serious injury. And yet, what's wrong? Nothing. She starts to check the rest of my body, starting with my back and arms. Thankfully, it doesn't look like you sustained any other injuries. Still, just because the outside healed doesn't mean you don't have any internal injuries. Head injuries shouldn't be taken lightly. The rest here for a while before you get moving. Yeah, sure. She might be right about me not being fully healed. I'm starting to feel colder. What are you doing here anyway? Looking for you? Me? Yeah, Ingrid told me Heavenly Ascension is back. Oh, that. I came to confirm whether you're connected to it. Whether I'm connected? You came to check whether I'm behind all this? It seems the central government suspects you. They think you never really disbanded Heavenly Ascension and that you falsified your report. I see. makes sense for them to distrust me. To them, I'm sure I'm just a criminal who switched sides to survive. And now they want Ingrid to look into it. Yeah. Then she asked you to investigate and to determine for yourself whether I'm behind this. Yeah, she said she wasn't fit to judge. Not fit, huh? Yeah, I could see her saying that. I'm sorry. You got dragged into this because of me. The fact is, I am connected to this. The one writing all these things everywhere, as if Heavenly Ascension is rising again, is sending me a message. He resents me for what I did and considers me a traitor. The fact is, I put an end to Heavenly Ascension, so it's not like I don't understand where he's coming from. So you figured out who it is? Yeah, I did. We agreed to meet, but when I arrived, I was knocked out with sleeping gas. And that's how you ended up here? He's most likely the one who knocked you out as well. I doubt he expected you to be looking for me. So he must have panicked when he saw you. He did seem confused, muttering something about me not being Viper or Jackal. I figured. After hitting you, he must have realized you're connected to the central government. He probably put you in here with me, figuring that if we died together, suspicion would naturally fall on me. Whatever the reason, I'm really sorry you got caught up in all of this. Well, now I have a better idea of what's going on. You're tangled up in something messy as well. Still, my telling you all this doesn't prove whether I really put an end to Heavenly Ascension or not. Ask me anything, I'll answer. In that case, why did you form Heavenly Ascension? Wow. Huh? Why would you want to know that? Aber trotzdem ist es eine gute Frage. I know you've been fighting for the rights of the Outer Rim. What I don't get is why your resistance took on the form of terrorism, or what led you to your subsequent change of heart. Huh. That's why I want to know more about how it all started. I think it'll help me judge better. Judge what? Me? Yep. Alright. You've been dragged into this mess. The least you deserve is to hear the full story. Full story! Auf geht's! It goes back pretty far though. Wie far? Wie alt bist du? Wie viele 100 Jahre? Jetzt bin ich mal wirklich gespannt. Über wie viele Jahre wir jetzt reden hier. Wenn die Leute in dem Spiel sagen, pretty far, dann sind das irgendwie easy 50 Jahre. Do you know what my name used to be? I've been getting that question a lot today. Huh? Dude, was soll ich jetzt sagen, man? Wieso kann ich das überhaupt machen? Ich meine, okay, wir wissen es im Spiel, wissen wir, wie sie heißt, weil es Ingrid gesagt hat in der Story damals, aber trotzdem, erzähl's mir. I have no idea. I guess that shouldn't be a surprise. When I decided to abandon my real name, I choose EH as shorthand for Enter Heaven, the meaning behind Heavenly Ascension. But before that, my name was Elysion Harper. Elysion? As in the company? Yes, that Elysion. It was a name that came with a lot of weight. Having that name meant I was the next CEO. In other words, I was the heir to Elysion. The heir? It would mean that you and Ingrid are half-sisters. We share the same mother. Doch die Mutter, nicht der Vater. Interesting. Macht aber Sinn, dass es die Mutter ist. Sonst würde Ingrid wahrscheinlich auch Ingrid Harper, nee, Elysion Ingrid, keine Ahnung, was davon Vor- und Nachnamen ist. I'm the younger one. Ja, ich meine, das wäre echt grenzwertig gewesen, wenn sie die ältere wäre. Was? Nee, okay, das passt schon. Our mother was the former CEO of Elysion. Okay. Warte mal, das heißt... Warte mal, wenn die Mutter former CEO war, warum ist Ingrid nicht die eigentliche Nachfolgerin gewesen? Wenn sie die ältere ist. Warum? That must be why Ingrid said she wasn't fit to judge. Your family. Yeah, I guess. Honestly, I didn't realize she still thought that way. What kind of company do you think Elysion is? An arms manufacturer strangely obsessed with techniques. Yeah, true. Strangely obsessed with uniforms. Beides ist richtig. Beides ist richtig, aber Tactics ist das. Ja, aber Ingrid is all about tactics, man. Tactics, yeah. Ingrid does like the word. Anyway, you're right. It's an arms manufacturer that focuses on tactical excellence. But that wasn't always the company's top priority. Ooh. In the past, Elysion pursued only one thing: power. Power? Yeah, more precisely, the power of humanity. Humanity? When the Raptures attacked, humans abandoned the surface and fled to the Ark. My mother believed that, in order to avoid extinction, only the strong must survive, so that humanity could grow stronger and evolve. That's what she used to say, at least. It sounds similar to Elysion's current philosophy, but also a bit different. That's right, Ingrid believes humanity must use technology to defeat the Raptures. But she's not so fixated on the sole pursuit of strength. Mother was different. She pursued strength to the point of obsession. That's why she wanted the strongest of her children to be her successor. Oh. Okay. Elysion Harper kann ein bisschen besser kämpfen als Ingrid. Ingrid and I were constantly tested and compared. I came out on top, which is how I became the heir. And the reason I was given the name Elysion. Wait. Das heißt, sie heißt eigentlich nur Harper. Elysion ist sowas wie ein Titel. If we ran for a certain incident, I would have inherited Elysion as planned. Okay, gut. Das macht dann viel mehr Sinn auf jeden Fall. What incident? Did you know that Elysion built the outer rim barrier? No. What? No, I had no idea. Of course, it was the central government's proposal that initiated the process, but Elysion spearheaded the construction. What I had long believed that the weak were meant to be culled. Oh shit. And felt that garbage should be kept separate from human habitats. Oh fucking hell. War sie jetzt gut oder war sie böse? Die Mutter. Und ich würde gerne den Namen von der Mutter wissen. So she naturally welcomed the proposal. She knew people were living there in secret. She used to say they lacked gratitude for being allowed to live in the Ark. Instead, squandering their lives on gambling and pleasure, she called them garbage. At the time, I really thought the people in the Outer Rim were all like that. But then, during the final inspection of the wall, I was sent to the Outer Rim in my mother's place, since I was the heir to all. That's where I learned for myself. The Outer Rim wasn't a mere trash dump. Just like the Ark, there were people living there. Real people, not garbage. Hey, what are you doing? Huh? The young boy and girl are startled and step back, dropping a fuse. Well, what's wrong? It sparkles and it's pretty. We were going to light a dynamite fuse because it's pretty? We wanted to make light. Everyone says there's no light here. Yeah, we played around with fire on that mountain. Light was really pretty. We just wanted to see it one more time. Is that not allowed? It's... What are kids like you doing here in the first place? Where are your parents? How did you even... What do you mean? This is our home. This is your home? Mom's here too. She's inside over there. I think. Huh. The children timidly glanced at the fuse. Are we really not allowed to light a fire here? I'd really like to see more pretty lights. No, it's not allowed. You could get hurt if you are not careful. We could? Elysion Harper carefully looks at the mountain of trash. Use this instead, huh? She picks up a sparkler that had fallen to one side of the trash pile, and then lights it. Crackle, crackle. Oh! Bright light begins to burst from the tip of the sparkler. Wow! These are the only things you should be lighting. Okay? Okay. That's when the thought hit me. People live here. I can't just ignore that. Damn. Vielleicht ist das auch der Grund, warum dann Elysion unter Ingrid weg ist von der Stärke der Menschen, sondern auf Technologie. Wie dass man Menschen nicht mehr wegen ihrer Schwäche aussortieren muss. Dass nicht noch mehr ins Outer Rim müssen. 100%. Proposed for improving the living conditions of Outer Rim residents. Elysion Franca! Franca hieß sie, die Mutter. Ah, da haben wir es doch. Also ist das sowas wie ein Titel, Elysion vor dem Namen zu haben. Okay. Aha, noch mal was gelernt. Sehen wir sie auch? Elysion Franca tosses her tablet down. I sent you on such an important assignment so you could learn about what being my successor entails. But now it looks like you came back more foolish than when you left. Who are the residents of the Outer Rim? There aren't any humans there, last I checked. Dude, die ist aber wirklich unter der Government-Fuchtel, Mann. Holy crap. Mother, the entire place is filled with garbage and nothing else. After being granted the privilege of escaping the surface and seeking refuge underground, they chose to hold themselves up in that dump that makes them garbage. If you really view those things as people, then that tells me all I need to know about how poor your judgment is. There are children who are born there who aren't like that. It may be true that the adults who went there were weak and made foolish decisions, as you say. But those children never had a choice. It doesn't matter. Being born in a dump still makes them garbage. What kind of logic is that? If their lives are meant to be anything more than that, then they'll find a way to survive, to get stronger, and to make it out of there. If they can't, it simply means they were born weak, and they will die weak. Jesus Christ, die Frau is hardcore, man. That is the law of the nature. I've said it many times before. Humanity as a whole must become strong. Only by casting aside the weak and strengthening ourselves can we survive in this world where inhuman monsters run rampant. Have you really not learned that yet? Still, they're just children. If you really can't understand, you aren't qualified to be sent to be the Eye of Elysion. Huh. Don't become weak, Harper. The Eye of the Great Elysion must not be swayed by pity for the weak. Be clear in what you keep and what you cast away, for the sake of a stronger human race. The weak must be discarded. Otherwise, humanity will never grow stronger. It is only through strength that humans can avoid falling behind in this inverted ecosystem and accomplish the great feat of reclaiming the surface. Okay. It was then that a thought came to my mind. We only pursue strength in an attempt to avoid extinction, and in the process, we discard our humanity. Can we really still be regarded as human? When that thought hit me, I couldn't take it any longer. For days on end, I kept asking myself, what is true strength? And then finally, I came to a conclusion. If being Elysion's Eye meant I wasn't allowed to think like that, then I would give up my position. Harper. Ingrid. Are you really leaving? Things just turned out this way, sorry. Looks like we won't be getting tested together anymore. Wait, damals hat sie schon die Klamotten angehabt? Jesus Christ. Die ist auch obsessed mit Uniform, offensichtlich nicht nur mit Tag Tank. Die hätten ruhig jetzt eine junge Ingrid machen können. Wäre cooler gewesen. Aber da hätten sie auch eine junge Harper nehmen müssen. Oh, jetzt heißt die Elysion Harper. Wobei, also nein, Ingrid müsste doch, aber Ingrid müsste dann Elysion Ingrid heißen, oder nicht? Noch nicht, aber Dann müsste sie Elysian Ingrid heißen eigentlich. Am Mother's okay with it? No. She was angry. She called me pathetic and wouldn't let me take anything with me, saying maybe I'd get the sense knocked into me and come back. I've got nothing aside from these weapons. Do you really want to save that place that badly? Yeah. I'm going to turn the Outer Rim into a place where people can live like human beings. And then I'm going to show the entire world. I prove that there are real people living there. In the place everyone else calls a dump. And that they can no longer ignore them. And to Mother, I prove that the strength of that humanity actually needs to pursue doesn't come from some extreme version of survival of the fittest. But that a strong need to help the weak and give them the chance to get stronger so that everyone can grow together. And that it's only by retaining our humanity that we can truly become strong. That's the strength of humanity that I'm after, and what I want to prove to everyone. Things may not go the way you want. I'm not trying to say that everything Mother said was right, but there are definitely those who've given up and only take from others rather than making an effort themselves. If you start preaching your ideals to such people, they might take advantage of you. There will be those who learn you came from the Ark and that you were Elysian's heir. And, out of jealousy, they'll threaten you and try to use violence. You won't be able to rest for even a second. And yet, in spite of all that, you still want to hold onto your ideals? Well, when it comes to violence, unless they're Nikkes armed like soldiers in the Surface Reclamation War, they'll surely be weaker than you, so I think I'll be fine. You idiot! You can't let your guard down. No matter how strong you are, you're bound to fall if you get careless. I know. That's a valuable lesson Mother hammered into us as children. Look, I know what you're trying to say. The Outer Rim will be dangerous. I realize not everyone will be good like the children I saw, but even so, I refuse to give up. Harper, unfortunately, that means I won't be able to help you. I know you wanted us to work together on your plan to make humans and Nikke stronger through technology and tactics. Still, I'll be looking forward to watching you from afar as you create Elysion's finest forces. The Absolute Squad, who will bring unmatched tactics to any fight. And the Extrinsic Squad, who will protect others from Berserk Nikkes. Elysian Harper extends her hand to Ingrid. Es war bevor Absolut gebaut wurde. Schwierig zu sagen. Ich würde sagen, Rapi ist um die 50, würde ich mal sagen. Aber Absolut wurde da erst gemacht, erst später. Absolut könnte 30 Jahre alt sein oder so. Könnte also vor 30 Jahren gewesen sein. Keine Ahnung, schwer zu sagen. Elysian Harper extends her hand to Ingrid. Alright. I'm really hoping you prove to Mother that you're right. Let's both succeed at what we're trying to do, wherever we may be. Ingrid firmly grasped Edge's hand. Take care of yourself. You too. You came straight to the Outer Rim after that? Yeah. If I wanted to change the Outer Rim, I figured I had to live here myself. And I'll tell you, I was surprised at what troubled me the most while living here. It wasn't the thugs picking fights because I was an outsider, while living in a house without a ceiling, which I'd never experienced before. Nor was it the thieves that tried to enter in whenever I closed my eyes. It was the fact that there was no light, just like those children had said. Aside from the faint glow of the Dome of Eternity seeping in from beyond the massive barrier, there was no light in the Outer Rim. Holy shit, dude. So I decided to change that first. When I began, I noticed there were a bunch of wires everywhere that didn't seem to be used for anything. They were capable of drawing power, though getting electricity wasn't difficult. The challenge was finding someone in the Outer Rim who had done electrical work before. I managed to finally find someone after a long search, and we began building streetlights together. We gathered bulbs from the landfill that could still be used and installed them one by one. Wow, it's so bright. What is this? It's so pretty. What's the big deal? Why are you making such a fuss over a few light bulbs? They're too bright, I say. Why are you even trying to light up this landfill anyway? Your eyes will get used to the brightness. This may be the Outer Rim, but we are still human beings, and we deserve to live in the light. Don't we? Well, I suppose that's true. I think we need to start trying to live more like people. After all, we're humans, even if we may not live in the Ark. After that, I installed lights along what was considered the main street. Gradually, people began gathering under the light. And then eventually, boss. 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 At some point, people began calling me boss. And that wasn't all. I want to live somewhere with more light. I want to see a brighter world. I want to feel the world beyond the partition. They started saying these kind of things to me. I figured that since I was the one who brought these people together, I had to respond to them. So I shouted, "Let us head towards heaven. Let us prove to the world that we are alive. And show them that we are people. One day we shall cross the partition into a world overflowing with light. Let us ascend back into heaven." From that moment on, we took the name Heavenly Ascension. Whew. I see. But the more I hear, the less I understand. Why did you resort to terrorism? Everything you've said sounds pretty far removed from that sort of violence. You're right. That wasn't how we operated in the beginning. At first, we were almost like a neighborhood watch group, just trying to make the Outer Rim a better place to live. We made people in the Outer Rim get jobs. It could be any kind of work, even the darker kind. No matter what it was, we made a rule that if you worked, you received compensation. Some gangs like us and others hated, but we approached all these established crime bosses the same, trying to settle matters by whatever means possible, and then form tacit alliances with them. That's how we came to know Underworld Queen. We made an agreement with them to protect one another, and that became our greatest source of strength at the time. Once word spread that they were backing us, smaller gangs fell in line a bit more, and they started protecting homes for Outer Rim residents in exchange for payment. Slowly but surely, the Outer Rim gradually stabilized. And that's when people started raising their voices. They said the time had finally come for us to speak with the Ark. We may have still been living in a landfill, but at least we were living like humans. And they said it was time we showed the Ark that. So, we tried. We secretly crossed the partition, put up posters, and shouted slogans. The Outer Rim isn't a landfill. There are many people who live there. Right now, there are many who are living amidst garbage without ever seeing a single ray of light. Your attention can bring light to the people of the Outer Rim. It can bring a new future to the children growing up there. Bring light to the Outer Rim. Bring light to the outlaws. We focused on raising our voices. But don't trespassers get killed on the spot if you get caught? Not back then. It wasn't as difficult as it is now for outlaws to enter the Ark. Security wasn't as tight. Also, outlaws weren't considered a threat back then. But it also means there was no one was willing to listen. Right now, there are many who are living amidst garbage without ever seeing a single ray of light. Your attention can bring light to the people of the Outer Rim. Whack. Boss, are you okay? I don't know what you're going on about, but shut up. Can't stand the noise. Verbal and physical abuse felt almost preferable to nothing. It at least meant you were listening. That's true. Hast zumindest gehört, was sie gesagt hat? The real problem was how the majority of people were so indifferent. Everyone pretended not to hear, just staring at their phones as they walked past. What is she doing in the middle of the street? Excuse me? Oh no, I made eye contact. The woman wearing earphones hurries away. It felt like I was shouting into the void. And it wasn't just me, I'm sure everyone who was there with me felt the same. We decided to change our strategy and send petitions directly to the central government. After we sent dozens, even hundreds of them, they finally agreed to arrange a meeting. We were hopefully that we were finally getting one step closer to what we wanted. Oh nice, central government. How come no one's here? It's been 6 hours. Did we get the date wrong? No. This is the right date. Elysian Harper looks at the door of the meeting room, knowing no one is coming. After that happened several times. We got the message. No matter how much we petitioned them, the central government would not meet us. No matter how much we shouted, the Ark would not listen. We grew more and more exhausted until a certain someone proposed something. If they refuse to listen to us, why don't we make it so that they have no choice but to hear us out? No way. We'll put on a grand fireworks show. Was? Crow war das? Wait, how? Warte mal, war das damals schon Nikke? Ich weiß es gar nicht. We'll put on a grand fireworks show. One they can't possibly ignore. Yeah. It was Crow. Uiuiuiui. Aber ich weiß nicht, ob sie damals schon Nikke war. Ich glaube, die wurde auch erst umgebaut irgendwann. Crow was part of Heavenly Ascension too? Yeah. I don't know how she joined or who vouched for her. All I remember is hearing she was born in the Outer Rim. At first, she was quiet, diligent, and devoted. She patrolled the Outer Rim with us, and went to the Ark with us to demand better rights. She went without hesitation to places other members avoided, and withstood all the physical and verbal abuse, and even the indifference. The reason I thought of her as a comrade despite our philosophical differences was because I saw how devoted she was to them. But at some point, she stopped being quiet and started speaking up, raising her voice, and expanding her influence. While I was away from the Outer Rim to meet with the central government, she built up a small faction inside Heavenly Ascension. That's how much influence she'd gotten. Sie war der Grund. You want to resort to terrorism? Bang. Are you out of your mind? Whoa, calm down. Why are you getting so worked up? Terrorism's a scary word. Don't call it that. Since the Ark is so bright, it can't seem to be those... Since the Ark is so bright that can't seem to see those of us who are living in the darkness. I'm just saying we should light off some fireworks to help them see better. Oh, don't try to make it sound harmless with words like fireworks. Your plan is practically the definition of terrorism. You want to sneak bombs into the central government's facilities and detonate them. A ton of people in the Ark would die. It would be a catastrophe. Why should we care? Let the big wigs in the Ark deal with that. Do you think anyone in the Ark cares about us? About how many die of sickness? Or how many children are going blind because there's no light? Wird man blind, wenn man im Dunkeln ist? Ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob das so funktioniert. Da müsste man schon über Generationen im Dunkeln sitzen, bis die Augen aufhören zu funktionieren, oder? Ich weiß es nicht, aber egal. How many are killed by explosives that got mixed in with the trash? We screamed our lungs out, but they didn't care one bit. It's the same thing. Our people dying from sickness or accidents isn't the same as outright murder. And unlike us, the Ark has a super high performance AI managing everything. Come on, boss. You've lived there before. You don't have to pretend like you haven't. We all know you came from the Ark. You. How dare you accuse boss of being from the Ark? Oh shit. Es gibt welche, die es nicht wissen. That's bad. We have any idea what she's done for the Outer Rim? Oh, of course I do. I'm well aware of how hard our dear boss has worked for the Outer Rim, and how much has changed since she came here. How could I not? You're a good person, boss. Even I know that. I doubt there's a single person in the Outer Rim who hasn't benefited from your efforts. We know how hard you've tried. That's why we've all followed you this whole time, including me. That never happened with anyone else. You threw everything away and came to the Outer Rim with nothing. Then lived alongside us for years and brought light to this dump that had been covered in darkness. But what resulted from that? No one listened to us. No one remembers us. Why? Because it isn't sensational enough. That's the thing about people in the Ark. Their lives are so peaceful and they had so much handed to them since birth that you can ask them as sweetly and kindly as you want, even raise your voice. And they won't so much as spare you a glance. If it isn't sensational, they dismiss it as boring and couldn't care less. So what? What are you trying to say? And how does this all lead to us coming terrorists? Terrorists? Didn't I say not to use scary words like that? We can still do what you want, boss, and go into the Ark and tell them what you think. All I'm saying is, we add a little spice to our words. That we do it the outlaw way. We make it a game to get them more involved. If they find the bomb before they go off, the Ark wins. If they don't and the bomb goes off first, we win. But, seeing how they already have so much, and we have so little, it's only fair that we apply just a tiny handicap for them. We know the entire plan, but they won't. Once they get engrossed in this little game of ours, they'll finally start listening to what we have to say. I guarantee it. So, Drow takes one more step towards Elysian Harper. Just this once, I'd like us to do things my way. What do you say? Oh, ihr Grinsen, Mann. Das ist gruselig, man. Ihr Gesicht ist gruselig. Boss? Looks in her eyes told me that she's going through that, even if it meant having to go through me. She spoke in a way to rile others up, highlighting how we were together in this, and sugarcoating her words to downplay the crime and make it feel justified. Crow was an agitator, and a charismatic one at that. The others were starting to agree with more and more of what she said. And that's when I realized something. Boss, what we need isn't to throw a tantrum like timid children. We need a revolution. One with fire and blood. Because the truth is, those things can't be avoided if we're gonna get what we want. That'll never happen if we're doing things your way, will it? That's why. I'm gonna do it instead. I realized I had to put a stop to it. No. I can't allow that. What you said is right. What you said is right. My way is peaceful and uneventful. It's never going to stir up the people of the Ark. I understand wanting to give them a shock. People might actually remember our name if we do, but killing people is a completely different story. All we'd be doing is giving them the go-ahead to shoot every one of us. Not just us, but everyone in the Outer Rim. Like you said, we have nothing compared to them. It goes for firepower too. True. If they get serious and come here for blood, we'd be lucky to escape, never mind defend ourselves. It wouldn't even be a fight. Of course, we've all snuck into the Ark before, so we might be able to flee there. But what about everyone else in the Outer Rim? The children, the sick, the elderly. Who's going to protect them? And it's not just the central government. The reason we were able to make a pact with Underworld Queen wasn't because we were so determined that we'd shed blood for the cause, but rather because we were protecting peacefully for our rights. If we do things your way, the pact would collapse. All the order that we've spent years establishing would collapse. Order, huh? That's why I'll never approve of your plan. It's not just for our sake, but for everyone's. Huh. For everyone's sake. You say you're afraid the central government will send their sights on all outlaws? But that's easy enough to solve. We just change what we've been shouting this whole time. What do you mean? We stop saying bring light to the outer rim. Bring light to the outlaws. Instead we make sure they know it's us. Light is our right, heavenly ascension. We change our slogan. Then the government won't target everyone in the outer rim, but only heavenly ascension, right? That's... No? Well, you're the boss. I get what you're worried about. Crow picks up the paper with the plan on it. Pretend I didn't say anything. Thanks for understanding. Like I said, you're the boss. Crow turns to leave, then stops. But there's one thing you should know. Not everyone's like you. They don't all worry about the other people in the outer rim. They're not all that patient either. Crow leaves the room. She seems dangerous. Shouldn't we keep an eye on her? Alicia and Harper looks around the room. A few people glances towards the door. Like they want to follow Crow out. Yes, please do. I had a gut feeling though, that her plan couldn't be stopped. From that day on, Heavenly Ascension split into two factions. The moderates, who wanted to raise their voice without straying too far from the old way. And the hardliners, who said the old way would never work and that extreme measures were required. Naturally, Crow led the hardliners. At the time, both sides thankfully understood one another, even if they disagreed on which method to use. We at least knew why everyone chose the way they did. The hardliners didn't cross the line, but as I feared, the hardliners kept getting more and more extreme. It didn't matter how much I tried to restrain them or persuade them otherwise. And before long, that ominous feeling I had was made a reality. The terrorist attack she had brought me that day was carried out in secret. He only changed the location. We've just received news of a terrible tragedy. A large-scale terrorist bombing has occurred on an A of X train. Das war der Train, dude! Das war der Train, wo Solin gestorben ist und Solin, Britt und Diesel. The incident took place as the train was entering the station platform. The explosion, which came from within the passenger cars, not only destroyed the train but also caused the station structure to collapse, resulting in a terrible tragedy. The central government has deployed numerous Nikkes to the site to conduct rescue operations. But due to the extent of the collapse, the number of casualties continued to rise. Meanwhile, according to the testimony of one survivor, a passenger on the train stood up, pulled out the detonator, and shouted the following just before activating it. The AFX incident? Yeah. The worst terrorist attack in the Ark history was set in motion by Crow. Light is our right, heavenly ascension. Using her slogan. Wait, hat es Crow selbst gemacht? Hat die sich selbst umgebracht und wurde dann zu einem Nikke umgebaut? No way, oder? No way. No fucking way. Just as Crow predicted after the AFX incident, the name Heavenly Ascension spread across the entire Ark. The thing we'd shouted, which no one ever listened to, finally spread everywhere. Ark citizens begin to recognize that people live in the Outer Rim. As soon as public opinion started to deem the central government's initial response as inadequate, the government got in touch with us, saying They wanted to enter into negotiations. What kind of negotiations? They said they would listen to everything we had to say. Of course, given how much death and destruction the attack had caused, we were on a high alert. But the government assured us they were aware that only a small number of us were behind it, and that we could bring as many armed guards as we wanted if we were uneasy. Even still, I hesitated. The one who ultimately convinced me was my mother. Oh shit. I'll hear you out. Come if you want to clean up this mess. That was the message I got from her. We decided to arm ourselves and head over. We figured that the attack had already happened and sitting around wasn't going to change anything. How do you think it went? So, die Mutter war noch unterwegs bei dem AFX-Incident. Es müsste mal eine wirkliche Timeline geben von Jahr mit Jahreszahlen, ohne Scheiß. Da blickst du echt nicht mehr durch, wann was war. Der AFX-Incident, keine Ahnung, wann der war. Aber wenn wir so sagen, dass das alles vor 30 Jahren war, war der Incident vielleicht vor 25 bis 20 Jahren? Das heißt, so lang leitet Ingrid noch gar nicht, Elysion. Weil ich nehme an, dass die Mutter zu dem Zeitpunkt immer noch ist. Und sag mir nicht, dass die Mutter umgebracht wird bei dem Treffen von irgendwelchen Hardlinern. Holy shit, das wäre crazy. Und dass deswegen Ingrid übernimmt. That very well would be my guess. Why do you think that? If it had gone well, there wouldn't have been any other attacks. Bingo. It didn't end well. Just as we suspected, the meeting was a trap. A trap laid by my mother. Oh no way, really? Dude, no. A trap laid by my mother. Huh? When we made it to the conference room, it wasn't people in there who were waiting there for us. It was mass-produced Nikkes, armed with Elysion's latest weapons. Oh shit. You're kidding. The moment the meeting room door opened, they started firing before we even had a chance to react. No fucking way! In that storm of bullets, I watched as my comrades threw themselves in front of me. Stop! Let me go. I shouldn't be there. I should be dying with them. Get it together, boss. You have to live. That's the only way their death will mean anything. One of them hoisted me onto his back and jumped out the window. That's how I survived. Everyone who went to that meeting that day died. Holy crap! Die Mutter hat einen Anschlag auf ihre Tochter gemacht. Damn! What the fuck, man? Die ist komplett durchgedreht. Everyone except me and the man who jumped out the window with me. That's terrible. After that, nothing could stem the tide. Not only did the majority of moderates defect to the hardliners, but remaining a moderate became grounds for being labeled a traitor. The resentment of being treated like garbage for so long, the betrayal from being deceived into approaching the negotiation table, the desire for revenge on behalf of all the comrades we lost. Take all those negative emotions and combine them with the precedent that Crow had set. And people began committing terrorist attacks all across the arc. After that, there was nothing I could do. Now it all started with me, that I'm the one who pulled the trigger when I said we'd led the outer rim towards the light. But once that bullet was fired, it flew out of my control. Regardless of what I'd wanted, I was suddenly the leader of a terrorist organization. A leader who survived by hiding behind the bodies of their comrades. Damn. Did your mother ever contact you again? No. She assumed full responsibility for failing to kill me, the head of Heavenly Ascension, and stepped down as Elysion CEO. What? That's why Ingrid had the CEO mantle thrust upon her so abruptly. Oh shit, dude. As for me, I cast off the name of Elysion Harper, and from that day forward, I lived only as EH. Das heißt, Alicia und Franka könnte noch leben. Tatsächlich. Theoretisch. Having become a powerless leader, incapable of doing anything. I wasn't even able to make decisions after that. All I could do was try to persuade them to carry out attacks that didn't kill anyone. Dude, das heißt, sie hat das Zepter übernommen von den Terroristen, hat versucht, möglichst wenige zu töten. Jesus Christ, das ist crazy, man. That's pretty much how things were. Until the attack on the Ark that blew a hole in the Dome of Eternity. Jesus Christ, man. That's everything I can tell you. Does that answer your question? Yeah, I think that's enough. I appreciate your honesty. No need to thank me. This is the first time I've been able to talk so freely to someone. Wegen meinem Riss, wegen meinem Commander-Riss. Du bist jetzt Nikke, Mann, deswegen wirst du jetzt gerisst von mir. I really appreciate you listening. Whatever decision you make, I'll accept it. We've been in here a while. I'll try and find us a way out. EH stands. You wait here for a sec. EH. Yeah? Do you ever regret it? Regret what? Leaving Elysian and going to the Outer Rim. I... Bang, bang, bang. Huh. I turned towards the sound. It came from over there, right? The sound came from beyond a wall, piled high with metal crates. Yeah. Stay here. I'll go check. I should come with. Honey, can hear? Viper? Hey, smell, boss, come on. It sounds like Jekyll and Viper. Viper, Jekyll, over here. Huh? Sounds them. Boss, Commander! We're here. Get back. Huh? What do you... Beep, beep. Oh my god, bomb. Ah. It grabs me by the collar and quickly pulls me away from the wall. Beep, 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 beep. That sound. Get down. I quickly cover my head and duck. Boom. A bomb? There you are. Is everyone okay? You're later than I expected. When I saw the tracker, I figured you'd come right away. Sorry about that. This place is used for cold storage, so the temperatures weakened the signal. Plus, we had to make a short pit stop somewhere. Where? Cold storage? No wonder it felt so cold in here. Yep. I guess they figured this was the best place to jam any possible tracking signals. Wait, what tracker? Check the inside of your sleeve. I feel along the inside of my sleeve. Huh? I detach a small cube no bigger than my pinky nail. When did you? When you gave me that little boost earlier, remember? What boost? Den Handschlag. Hey, and now as a sign of our trust and commitment, how about a handshake? That? Hey, remember now? We were escorting you through the Outer Rim. We had to take certain precautions. And what do you know? It helped us find you. Sure, but... I know it technically failed to protect you as I promised, but... I did come and save you, so we're good, right? Good? I don't really get what you mean, but Commander is good. Yeah, sure. Thanks for saving me. Hehe, don't mention it. And by the way, we caught the guy who did this. You did? Yeah, that pit stop I mentioned earlier. We went and caught him. He'd actually been upstairs eavesdropping on us. We subdued him though. Wanna see? Yeah. I'll come too. Are you sure? It might be dangerous. Maybe you should wait outside with Jekyll. I'd like to hear what he says. I'm involved in this too, after all. I want to know why he did it. Sure. Then let's go together. With Viper and Jekyll leading the way, we go upstairs. A man is there, bound to a pillar and gagged. He glares at us. Viper, can you remove the gag? Yeah, okay. Viper approaches the man and removes the gag. What are you even doing? What are you even doing that for? You should just killed me. It's been a while. Melon? You've got a good memory for a traitor. I didn't know you were still alive. Last time I looked for you, I couldn't find you anywhere, so I thought you were dead. Why would I show my face to a central government lapdog? You don't only try and get me to quit Heavenly Ascension anyway. Why did you do this? Because I resent you. I couldn't believe you'd become a government lapdog. You were our boss. Why didn't you die back then? During the attack on the Ark? You should have just let yourself get blown up, along with the surface elevator. You don't have to listen to this, EH. Yeah, there's nothing to hear that you haven't already heard. It's fine. If you just died, you died without becoming a Nikke, then I wouldn't feel so betrayed. Someone had to take responsibility. You lived through it too. You saw for yourself the horror we inflicted on the name of terrorism. But no matter how it starts, no matter who incites it, no matter what the justification, as soon as the wrong method are used, the message loses all meaning. That is true. Name can be branded into history, but our cause lost all its legitimacy. We dressed them up under the name of human rights movement, but all those terrorist attacks were nothing more than violent crimes. Crimes that brought death and destruction on a whole lot of innocent people. We can realize that we were wrong and regret it all we want, but there's no changing the wrongs we committed. It doesn't ease the pain that the victim suffered. There needs to be someone has to atone, because pain and sin don't ever go away. EH. All those crimes we committed were in the name of Heavenly Ascension. So I thought it was only right that I take responsibility for them. Atone, huh? All by yourself? Yeah, I'm the one who started it all. I'm the one who found Heavenly Ascension, who failed to stop Crow and the hardliners, and who ultimately decided to go to that meeting where so many of our people died. It was all me. I realized that since I am the one who started all this, I should be the one to end it. But by the time I made the decision, my body was already dying. That's the reason I became a Nikke. I wanted to have more time to atone for what we did. I think you should move on too. In that case, let me ask you one last question. In your entire life, has there ever been a time, ever just once, when you regretted coming to the Outer Rim? Instead of taking over Elysion? Huh. Did you hear us talking? Just answer the question. Do you regret it? I have more regrets than I can count. But coming to the Outer Rim has never been one of them. I swear it. You should leave Heavenly Ascension. Admit that what we did was wrong, and cast off your past life. That's the price you have to pay. No. Malin, you're a traitor and a hypocrite. I carry my share of sin with me. What? Beep beep. Oh shit, dude! Another bomb? Where was he hiding the detonator? Beep beep. We'll never be making it to heaven anyway. So I'll see you in hell along with the others, boss. Dude! Was eine Line, man? Everyone get back. Malin. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. Boom. Was eine Line, hey, dude. And the smoke from the blast clears. We hurry to where Malin had been. Huh. But only the breeze from the explosion remains. For a brief moment, Gage stares silently at the remains. So, sorry to keep you all waiting. Let's get going. I'll take you outside. Okay. Following EH's lead, we walk towards the outer rim barrier. Huh. Viper? Boss? Commander? What's wrong? Why's everyone so quiet? Are you hungry or something? Good. Tackle. Hey, I'm hungry too, Commander. Wanna eat before we go? For goodness sake, Jackal. I'll buy you some food later, so just wait for now, okay? Huh? Yeah, sure. Jackal starts sniffing and moves towards a box in the corner. What is it? Is there something there? It smells like gunpowder. What? Is this dangerous? Jackal lifts a small stick from inside the box. That's a sparkler. A sparkly? Do you blow it up? EH takes the sparkler from Jackal. It's a sparkler. You light it like this. EH lights the tip. Crackle, crackle. Aww. A bright light begins to burst from the tip of the sparkler. Aww. Das ist auch hübsch. Sie sieht plötzlich nicht mehr so wütend und müde aus. And it shines like this. Wow, that's so pretty. Commander, Viper, look, it's so pretty. Haha, yeah, you're right. It's very pretty. Gut, Jackal ist ein kleines Kind, aber ein dummes kleines Kind noch dazu. Warte mal. Die machen... Mindestalter, um Nikke zu sein, ist 10. Was also bedeutet, sie ist definitiv 10. Also das Hirn war 10. Sie kann unmöglich älter gewesen sein. Yeah, it really is pretty. The edge stares at the sparkler intently. Her gaze filled with both nostalgia and regret. These are the only fireworks she should be lighting. I wanna hold one too, I wanna light it. Jackal grabs a handful of sparklers and runs off. Wait, Jackal. Lighting that many is dangerous. Viper runs after her. Oh. Yeah. If I ever get blinded again while chasing after the light and end up setting fire to something that isn't meant to burn, will you stop me no matter what it takes? I'm sorry, that's a lot to ask. I don't think that day will ever come. Because I'm positive you won't forget what you're atoning for. As such, I'm not going to agree to stop you. Instead, I pick up a sparkler and touch the tip of the one in EH's hand. Crackle, crackle. I'll watch and support you as you atone. So that someday you'll finally have atoned for everything and be free. Guck mal da, sie lächelt etwas. In the shimmering light, EH gives a small smile. That's more than enough. Enter heaven, the end. Damn. I heard you ran into some trouble in the Outer Rim. How's your injury? It's fine, it's healed up a while ago. I'm pretty sure EH went through worse. I see. Can you tell me what happened? Sure. I tell Ingrid everything that happened in the Outer Rim. Thanks for the report. EH told you about her past. And there really was someone still in Heavenly Ascension, but he took his own life? I see. I suppose now you understand why I said I wasn't fit to judge. Yeah. Well, I think it's safe to say you've heard just about everything at this point. So, now that you have all the information, what do you think of EH? Sympathy for her? I don't have any sympathy for her? Wieso soll ich nicht? I see. So you consider her a victim as well. Not necessarily. EH, the terrorist, did unforgivable things. There's no question there. But it's more complicated than that. And there's something tragic to it as well. Is that so? As such, I don't believe she lied about dismantling Heavenly Ascension. I think her vow to face her past sins and atone is sincere. Understood. I'll be sure to include your thoughts in the report that I sent to the headquarters. Okay. Well, I guess I'll be going. Alright, great work. I stand to leave the room. Bo? Yes? I'm going to do something. Oh yeah. but that can only be done here and only now. It will be the first time and also last. Was hat sie vor? Once you leave this room, you have to forget it. The fuck? Forget what? Do you understand? Yes, I understand. Ingrid rises and bows her head. What are you doing? Thank you for listening to my sister's story. Ingrid lifts her head again. That is all. Now, leave and forget what just happened. You're welcome. For what? See you around. With a memory in my heart that I'll ironically never forget, I say goodbye to the woman who is both Elysion's CEO and someone's older sister. Dude, amazing. Was eine gute Story, man. Holy shit. Das war die beste Story seit langem, ohne Scheiß. Was heißt seit langem? Das war die beste Story seit dem Jahresdings. Der Jahresupdate.